What's a story structure? In this video, I'm going to tell you how to write a story that reads like a great movie. Welcome to Writing Tips for Kids, an educational video course for aspiring kid authors. My name's Nick Goss. I'm a self-published author and homeschool dad. And today we're talking about story structure. Specifically, I'm going to explain what's called the 3-act story structure in detail, so you know how to write the most important events in your story in the right order in a way that satisfies the reader and makes them want more stories. Also, don't forget to do the thing. Hit the button. How are you gonna know we got new videos? You don't smash that there button. I hit the button. You know, the one that says subscribe. Most stories follow a pattern of events called story structure. Think of story structure as a timeline, and on that timeline are moments and events in your story that the reader is expecting to happen. It's kind of like a map with a big red line that shows you where to start, what direction to go, and where you end. Like a treasure map. Yeah, exactly, pirate. Well done. A story structure is like a treasure map. Can we please go treasure hunting? I said like a map. We're not actually going treasure hunting right now. Please, can we please go treasure hunting? No, we're not. But I'm ready to start digging. Let me finish this video first. But I want my loonies. Can you be patient, please? I promise we'll go as soon as I'm done. Most great stories follow a 3-act structure, and this is true of most blockbuster movies and best-selling books. Let's break down each act. Act 1. This is the first 25% of your story, the first quarter of your timeline, the first 25% of your book. And here are the things that the reader is expecting to happen and really needs to see happen in that first part of your story. You introduce your protagonist, your good guy, and you show the reader what just the everyday world looks like for him in the protagonist's world. This is also where you uncover the main character's fears and flaws. As explained in the last video, if you missed that, well, that's why it's so important for you to subscribe. You'll never get it. Fine, you try it. Alright then. Don't forget to subscribe. What? He was getting on my nerves. Let that be less to you. That's just a warning shot. You also introduce the bad guy in Act 1 so that you know there's trouble brewing in the good guy's world. And finally, you end Act 1 with what's called the Inciting Incident. This is the event in your story that forces the protagonist to make the decision to go on the journey and face off with the bad guys. For example, Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, the first Star Wars movie that ever came out. The inciting incident is when Luke and Obi-Wan go back to Luke's farm to discover that the Empire has killed his aunt and uncle. Up to that point, we knew who the bad guys were, we knew who the rebellion was, we knew what was going on between them, but the main character, Luke, hadn't made a decision to go do anything about it or join Obi-Wan and go become a Jedi until he realized it was his only option and there was nothing left for him. That was the inciting incident. Act 2. Act 2 is the second part of your story, but it's half of your book. It should make up the next 50% of your timeline, and it's all about the action. That's the main body of the story. Most storytellers divide Act 2 into 2 phases. In the first phase of Act 2, the protagonists, the good guys, are just trying to survive. Let's go back to Star Wars Episode 4. During this phase of the movie, Luke and Han and Chewie and Obi-Wan are stuck in the Death Star, trying to rescue Princess Leia. They're trying to escape the Death Star. They're not trying to defeat the Empire, they're just trying to survive. In the second phase of Act 2, the good guys typically go on the attack. They know how to beat the bad guys, and they're taking action. For example, when the rebellion sends all of their X-Wings and fighters to the Death Star to destroy it, and a huge battle ensues. That's the good guys taking the fight to the bad guys. An important element of this part of the story is that the good guys discover how to beat the bad guys. Act 3, this is the last 25% or so of your story, and it's the best part. This is where all the tension and conflict and emotions and struggle reach their highest levels. In this final act, there are three main things that have to happen. 1, the good guy faces his flaws and fears and faces off with the bad guy. This is the final fight. Like when that little brat Peter Pan fights the noble beloved Captain Hook. Or when the sheriff has a showdown with the bandit. Exactly. It's the big fight at the end of the story. And the bad guy is going to deliver a shocking blow to the protagonist. It will seem like all is lost, and the good guy is almost completely defeated. In storytelling, this is called the dark night of the soul, and it's in every story. This is where the reader is going to be scared that the bad guys are going to pull it off and win, and that the good guys have no chance of winning. How many times have we fallen for that? Now, the good guys don't have to win, but readers typically like to see the good guys prevail. Back to Star Wars Episode 4 for an example. This is where Luke is completely alone in his X-Wing. All the other rebel fighters have been destroyed and Luke is alone in the Death Star trench with Vader right on his tail. R2-D2 gets hit by a laser and Vader has locked onto Luke's ship and is about to end it all. Number 2 is the climactic sequence. This is the end of the final fight where the good guy, against all odds, gets back up just one more time to fight the bad guy and actually overcomes him. Han swoops in at the last second in the Millennium Falcon and stops Vader from blowing Luke to stardust, while Luke, not turning back or giving up, uses the Force, fires his proton torpedoes, blows up the Death Star, and saves everyone. I love that story so much. And 3, the resolution. The battle is won and a new normal has to be established. What does life look like now in that world without the bad guy? What does the new normal look like? And it's also important, at least I think so, to have the good guy ride off into the sunset. That's my favorite part. Yeah! Here is your bonus pro tip. I have broken down the 3-part story structure into a detailed chart for you that you can download for free to help you organize your story. It's the structure I use for all my books. And it'll also help you understand better the upcoming videos. So start getting familiar with the 3-act structure. You're going to start recognizing it in the movies you watch and the books you read. Just click the link in the description of this video and it's all yours. Hope you enjoy it. That's it for this video. If you're a parent and you'd like to contact me about your child's writing, you can reach me on Facebook at facebook.com/Travelers League, no apostrophes. Or you can send me an email at travelersleague@gmail.com. Bye for now.